This is Michael Orrell of mobileburn.com. Today I have with me the HTC Touch HD. And while I realize that this is not a brand new device by any stretch, I've just been playing around with one for the past week and a half or so, and I've been really pleased with it. So I thought I might as well do a video and highlight some of the features of it, since we haven't done a video in depth of it in the past. As you can see, very simple design on this device. It's dominated by a 3.8-inch 800 by 480 pixel display. It's a resistive touchscreen display, which means it requires a little bit of pressure. As such, it's compatible with a stylus. There's a stylus silo here with a magnetic latch on it. You can see it automatically activated the device when I removed it. Up top here we have the power button. Very simple looking buttons here. 3.5mm audio port for headphones. Volume control there. Microphone hole right next to the mini USB style power headset port. Of course, you don't really need to use that since you have a 3.5mm headset. This device comes with a 3.2 megapixel autofocus camera. It's not the greatest camera in the world, though. It's good in strong lighting outdoors and such like that, but it really needs a lot of light to get a good photo. And we'll show you a little bit more about that in a little bit. When we power the device up, you can see the TouchFlow 3D display, and as such, you can grab this little tab along the bottom, move across the different screens. You can also swipe. Now you notice the order of these tabs is different than what you might have seen on other devices. That's because this version of TouchFlow 3D comes with the ability to reconfigure the tabs, which is nice. You've been able to do that with third-party applications in the past, but now you can do it right on the device. You can even turn off tabs. You see I have the music tab turned off at this point. You could rearrange them, grab them, move them around, whatever you like. Works pretty well. If you look closely down here in the corner, you'll see the email indicator shows that I've got 2 new messages. Tap on that tab there. You can move through messages by using your thumb to move up and down. Switch to accounts by tapping on the little icons there. Get to the inbox down here, and you can use swipe gestures to move from account to account. So now I'm in the Outlook email. You can of course use your thumb to scroll around. You can always use the scroll bar as well. Weather reports, just like we've seen in other devices, except now it shows 4-day forecast, which is pretty cool. Stock quotes are new to the HD as well. And of course there's the people, so flip through your contacts and then you can immediately call them or send a message, call mobile, call home, send a message, or send an email. It's pretty cool. One of the highlights of the Touch HD is its Opera web browser, and you see we'll have our bookmarks listed here. We'll tap and go to the Mobile Burn homepage. It's a Wi-Fi connection, so it'll come up a little bit faster than it would on HSDPA if it were working on a European network. But it comes up pretty quickly nonetheless. You can see we scroll around quite easily, double tap to zoom, reformats the text so it's easy to read. Double tap zooming control is quite nice, but you can also use this control down here to manually zoom just by grabbing the little slider here. Does a nice job with the formatting. You can see everything is laid in place pretty nicely. All the Ajax controls work. I wanted to point out that while the device doesn't allow you to use a QWERTY keyboard in a landscape mode in most applications like messaging where it would be useful, you can use it inside the browser, since the browser allows for text input in both orientations. And you can see we have a pretty nice 3-row QWERTY keyboard here. It's a real shame that you can't use this in messaging. The device obviously supports it. There have been times when I've gotten into the landscape mode in messaging from backing out of Opera in landscape mode. It's not possible to do it by default just by tilting the device or switching modes. This is a text messaging window on the device, just so I can show you the on-screen QWERTY keyboard. You can see it's QWERTY in a portrait form. I find it pretty easy to use even though there's no haptic feedback. Easier to use one-handed, I would say, than with two hands, iPhone style. There are other text input methods as well. You can use traditional T9 kind of thing. Compact QWERTY is the hybrid, BlackBerry Shore type display, or type keyboard rather. You can see it also, supports T9 or not. This is predictive text. This is the photo viewer on the Touch HD. Now, in spite of the fact that you can't use text input in a horizontal landscape form, the picture viewing does work that way. You can, of course, use swipe gestures to move from image to image. Access the camera up here. Simple and not the best camera in the world. You can see here is the shutter button. You basically press the shutter button, it focuses and takes the picture right away. Makes it hard to get the picture you want. It's also kind of slow. Shutter speeds are always slow. Not impressed. It's better than what we've seen in some of the non-autofocus ones in HTC cameras, but it's just not a good camera overall, considering the otherwise spectacular caliber of the device in terms of multimedia. Here's a quick look at a sample video on the device, just so you can see how it looks. Very high quality. That 3.8-inch display is really good for watching video. And lastly, I just want to point out the little HTC developed task manager up here. It's in the upper right-hand corner when you're in the home screen. It allows you to quickly see or switch to an application and close them as well to save memory. So there you have it. That's our quick look at the HTC Touch HD. Very nice slab touchscreen device with a 3.2 megapixel camera, a 3.8-inch 800 by 480 pixel display, and a real 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. It's got a lot of internal storage thanks to a micro SD-HC card slot located under the battery cover. Really nice device. TouchFlow 3D works really well. Not much to complain about. You should check it out. I'm Michael Orrell from mobileburn.com.